Hi, it's Michelle coming back to you with another video. And today, I just want to talk about, um, the fires that took place. It was four fires that took place in California, and uh, and I really feel bad for for the people who, um, lost their homes, lost all of their possessions. You know, I feel bad for the people who don't have anywhere to go after losing all of their stuff and home. Who knows? They probably lost vehicles and whatnot. I think about all of that they're going through because here in Houston, we go through hurricanes season, we go through tornado season where the hurricanes and tornadoes would come through and possibly devastate a lot of the areas. I remember when one hurricane came through. I can't remember if that was Katrina or I think it was Katrina, where Galveston, where I'm from, flooded. The water rose up over the stop sign from the Gulf of Mexico and came into Galveston and flooded uh, a whole lot of almost the entire Galveston, where you know it was devastated. So um, them in California going through the fires, my heart goes out to them. That's what made me think about talking about the emergency uh, kits, where here in the Houston and the Galveston area, where we should be uh, always on alert, having those kits that I talked about in my previous videos, having those kits put together so that at any moment's notice that uh, we can grab a bag and go without having to prepare a bag. If you're already ready, you don't have to get ready. That's what I was told. So now I get on here on YouTube, and one of my favorite uh, persons on YouTube now, DoorDash. She is a favorite. She's a favorite, but Dante London is also a favorite, uh, and he was on. I caught one of his current videos where he took us back to Farm Hill. Uh, I can't remember. North Farm. Okay, I can't remember, but it's a horrible uh, projects in Detroit, and um, I think that's Detroit. Yeah, Uh, where they always have killings. They always have something happening in their neighborhood. Now, devastation is devastation, regardless of the type of devastation. Because if you live in a place where it's hard for you to feel safe, you know, uh, that's a horrible way to live too. And that's a devastation. And I felt so bad for, the story that he was telling. And it started making me think about my own story. And with my own story is, I'm from Galveston, Texas. And um, when I left Galveston, I was afraid of the storms and the hurricanes. So when I left Galveston, I didn't want to go back because I didn't want to face the hurricanes coming off of the Gulf, the tornadoes that would come. And I lived in some apartments in Galveston where a tornado passed right on side of my apartment. My son said, "I hear a choo choo train." He said, "Mom, Mom, I hear a choo choo train." And I'm like, "What?" I have that bad. What? So uh, I jumped up, and I see when a tornado comes, you have to like put a crack in your window. I mean, well, when I say put a crack, open your window up and have a slight opening, because and it's not just one window. From what I see, several, because if you don't, the wind from the tornadoes will suck your windows out and burst your windows. So what happened is, uh, I cracked a couple of the windows, but I didn't crack, or I didn't do anything to my patio door, and my patio door was sucked out of the hinges from the building. But just so happened it stayed on the patio. But the wind from the tornado took the sliding door off of the hinges to my apartment. And it had soot, like wherever it traveled, all of that soot, it just had it all in my bedroom. Where the patio door came off the hinges from. But the tornado passed right by my bedroom. So I had to, you know, I had my dad, before he passed away, I had him living with me. So I took my dad and put my dad in the bathtub, because that's one of the safe places that you can go. And, hopefully your building would keep you safe there. But this is what I was told, that the bathroom would be safe. So I put him in the bathtub and put, a mattress over him, and tell him, "Don't move." And then I took my sons, I have three sons, and then they had a sleepover going. So I took my sons, imagine, I had on bra and panties back then. I'm running around, taking care of all these boys, three, and my dad. And I brought the boys in the living room, and I got a mattress, and I put the mattress on top of me and the boys, so that the wind and whatnot possibly wouldn't be able to take us, or whatever. I'm just trying to think in some kind of strategy kind of way. And but the tornado passed. It did it just that quick. You heard the choo choo train sound. You run around trying to secure everybody, and then after everybody's secure, you hear all of this devastation going on, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet, and it happens just like that. And then it gets quiet. Then I walk around trying to see if everybody's okay, but I still have on my bra and panties, and I have my son had a sleepover, so I did put on some clothes. But when your adrenaline is flowing, and when things are happening at a moment's notice, and you have to do something really quick, um, that's what happened, and that's how I handled things. So look, and then I turned out to be a social worker. I turned out to be a social worker, so problem solving. you know, so okay. But um I just wanted to get on here real quick, and talk about the California fires. I wanted to talk about Dante's situation that touched my heart, and I pray for him and his family always, that, you know, God will guide him because he's a strong young man. Talking about resilience, talking about strong. I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him, the way that he's handled his life, the way that he moves. God is guiding him, and you can tell that he's trying to listen. He's trying to hear. He's like, what you say, God? Huh? Huh? Because he's really trying to, as a young man, in his late 20s, I think, uh, he's trying to strategize his life to bring himself out of the situation that life dealt him, and he's trying to, you know, make his life better for him and his family, and that's all that we all want. We all want to make life better for us and our families. You know, we don't want to live where there's fires that devastate us. And this is not the first time the fires ever happened in California, you know, but they believe in where they live. That's just like here in Texas, here in Houston, or in Galveston. No matter how many hurricanes or tornadoes happen, people still want to rebuild and go back to what they're used to. And that's understandable. I get it. I get it. You know, but Dante, he went and lived in an area where people are always killing one another. People are always, you know, something is always happening that's not favorable, where your head have to be on a swivel to just walk down the street. And something bad is happening in the neighborhood every single day. That's not a good way to live. But thank God he don't live like that now. He don't live in a projects. He lives in the projects, but he lives in a better projects where those things don't happen like that. Where he don't have to, you know, uh, live in those conditions anymore. And I thank God for that. I thank God that for him. And you know, I thank God for me because I was homeless. Let me see, I've been in this apartment complex where I am right now for 2 years. Before then, for 6 months, I was homeless. I lived in two shelters. I lived with two different sets of friends. Well, okay, two sets of friends, but another place I lived in, uh, when I couldn't live with that friend no more, she talked a drug addict into letting me stay there at his place until I got to the shelter. So I slept on a mattress on the floor with bed bugs for 2 nights. I, you know, I thank God for where I am right now. I may not want to be in this apartment complex because this apartment complex, you know, it's a nice area. I live down the street from the NRG Stadium, and it's the I'm not gonna say all of it's bearable. It's bearable, to be low income, because there are some low income, just like what Dante used to live. that is worse than this, much worse. So, you know, I consider myself fortunate to have been homeless and came to a place where I live like, you know, like more peaceful. And I too want to grow. I too want to get beyond this point and get better. So, uh, currently, I'm a 67-year-old retired person, uh, still dealing with uh, my breast issues, where from the cancer that I had cancer and in both my breasts, and they removed the cancer from both my breasts, but also I had a double mastectomy where they took both my breasts and they rebuilt my breasts. That's called breast reconstruction. And it wasn't done right. So, June the 12th, I think, I probably said 16th in the past, but I think it's June the 12th. Uh, there, uh, uh, another hospital is going to be doing a double reconstructive surgery on both my breasts to make sure that it's done properly this time. So you'll hear about it. I'll be able to come on here and tell you guys about it. And well, um, I just pray for everyone in your areas where if there's any devastation or if there's any, you know, horrible situations that's going on in your neighborhoods that make your life unsafe, I pray for you. In the name of Jesus, I pray for everybody who's watching this channel and even those who are not watching this channel to keep us safe from hurt, harm, and danger. In Jesus' name. I'll see you in the next video.